What's going on, everyone? Joker here. I hope you're all doing well. Today we've got some tech news concerning AMD Ryzen Threadripper and their upcoming 2990X. At least that's the current rumored naming scheme for the top-end SKU that we got to see during Computex. It's going to be 32 cores and 64 threads. Absolute monster coming into the high-end desktop space. So all of this comes from a German retailer website called Cyberport that has it listed over there now that you can actually purchase. You can pre-order the Threadripper 2990X, which is the 32-core, 64-thread, and they're charging 1,500 euros for it, which works out to be about $1,700, but you have to remember that theirs also includes VAT tax, so this includes VAT, which means it's basically their tax over there is included onto the purchase of things like electronics with the price that you actually see on the retailer. So in the United States, we're probably going to be expecting to see this selling for $14.99 based on what we have here. I mean, if you look over at the current Threadripper top-end SKU, the 1950X, it's currently selling for 771 euros, but in dollars, it's $750. So it's about the same thing number-wise, but when you go ahead and convert it, 770 euros is actually about $894, which is kind of closer to what you would pay with whatever tax they have strapped onto it, you know, from the get-go. So the prices usually over there in Europe do seem a little bit higher, you know, right out of the gate. So that's, you got to kind of account for that and everything in the pricing. But based on what we're seeing here from a German retailer, we could probably expect to see these parts launching at $1,500 here in the United States, like a $500 markup on what the 1950X launched at, which was $1,000, and that was for 16 cores, 32 threads, and that was a beast. And this is pretty much doubling that for an extra $500, which I don't think is, you know, really too ridiculous. They're definitely still going to be beating Intel in terms of price to performance. I mean, they've got their SKUs out there for about $2,000, and they're probably going to have ones coming out that are even more expected. Those, you know, those 5 gigahertz ice chiller CPUs with the Intel stock cooler they're going to be shipping with. Yeah, those things are going to be really great for like probably close to $3,000. But for $1,500, I think these seem really interesting. Definitely excited to try them out. So we can't learn too much else from this listing. They do have some speeds listed on here. It does say 3.8 gigahertz on socket TR4 and then a boost of 4 gigahertz. But over on OC3D, they actually have a listing from 3D Mark that shows the 2990X already being posted in that database with some specs on the processor, which backs up, once again, the naming scheme being 2990X 32-core processor, and it shows it with a stock clock speed of 3 gigahertz and a turbo clock of 3.8 gigahertz. So it could possibly still have a max boost of 4 gigahertz like on the other listing. It just might not be hitting that because that's usually on their box. They kind of overestimate the max boost speed. It's really under ideal conditions and all of that. You can usually hit those if you manually OC it, so hopefully we'll see Threadripper, you know, 2990X at least 4 gigahertz on all cores, but like maybe just a manual OC and a little voltage tweak. That would definitely be ideal to see. But let me know down in the comments below for $1,500. Is this something you're waiting for? I mean, I know probably most people are just, you know, regular consumers and gamers and probably don't need the processing power of this, but for someone like me, yeah, I could definitely see why spending $1,500 on this would be a wise investment, because the performance it offers is just insane. It's going to save you so much time when it comes to rendering out video projects and anything that requires a multi-threaded workload like this. So that's all we've got so far on the Threadripper 2990X. I do look forward to your comments and discussion down in the comments below. As always, if you enjoyed this video or learned something new, don't forget to leave a like on it down below and subscribe if you're not already. And I will catch you guys tomorrow for another video. Ciao.